Hey, welcome to the Pitchability Show. This is episode 11. This is the show where you develop from the ground up. Show. Just got done with the training group. This was the first session of the month. We call those assessment days, where we're capturing all the data from all the pitchers, and we actually had 7 guys break through their personal record, which is nice to see, because sometimes you see guys hitting a plateau in the off-season training, and it seems like they're breaking through the barriers as we're getting ready for the season. So very exciting to see. This past weekend, I was out actually Christmas shopping for my kids and ran into a youth baseball coach. And he had a question that he wanted me to answer. And that question was, for youth baseball, what is the one thing that youth baseball should really change? And I was thinking about this, and I think the one thing that youth baseball should really change is that right now it doesn't seem like there's a difference between rec ball and select ball. And I think it's really hard right now to say that youth baseball is actually select baseball. This past year, I actually did some analysis on some of the area teams that we had in our area, and there were over 630 teams from 9U to 14U. And that may seem like that's a good thing because there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of teams, but what actually ends up happening is you have the talent in a certain population or certain area dispersed amongst hundreds of teams. So what happens is you have 3 to 4 guys who are the guys on the team that get the most innings, that throw a lot, that sort of a thing. And I don't know necessarily that that's the best thing for development. If you've talked to me at all or seen any of these shows or come to the training groups, you know that is a big thing of mine, is actually developing the player. And I'm not sure that that's the best way to develop talent, by dispersing the talent across hundreds of teams. I would like youth baseball to get back to more where there's cuts for tryouts and guys are really working hard to make a team, rather than, frankly, I've had guys who have come to me and said, hey, I've got these 4 teams that want me on their team, which team should I join? And that's just totally different than when I was a youth guy playing baseball. It was you waited at night for that phone call to see if you're going to get cut or not. And I think there's something to that. If you look at what happens a lot of times, I work with a lot of guys who are making that transition from the youth level into high school, and sometimes they may be the guy on their 14U team, but then they go and start at a high school and maybe they don't even make the team, or maybe they're on a lower level team when they thought they should have been on the varsity team, and it's hard for them to understand because on their 14U team they were the guy. So I think that's what happens when you start to disperse some of this talent, the development and where guys need to get to. If guys want to play at the high school level or the college level, you don't necessarily see it. I've actually had some youth guys that I've put into high school groups for this very reason, because they're very, very good at the youth level, but I want them to experience training and working with these high school guys so that they can realize, hey, this is a different level, this is what I need to do if I'm really serious about this and I want to be a contributor on my high school team. So long-winded answer, but I think from a youth baseball standpoint, that is the number one thing that I would like to see changed. I would really like to see there become a difference between rec ball and select ball, because I think there's a place for both. But right now, I would argue that those lines are pretty gray. If you have any questions, be sure to email me, tom@tomoldhambaseball.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/tomoldhambaseball, Instagram @tomoldhambaseball, or on Twitter @tomoldham19. Send your questions. Thanks for on the shot. Thanks.